What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Haze Davis Show. We're gonna be cooking for you today, and our special treat for you guys is gonna be a giant baked quesadilla supreme. That's what I'm gonna call it. That's what we're gonna do with it. It was like supposed to be maybe like a taco bake type deal, but we're gonna be going with more of a tortilla base instead of flour based. I mean, it's flour tortillas also, but less flour, I guess. I don't know. But let's go ahead and check this out. We're going to show you guys the items. We got everything prepped up and ready to go to get it prepped up and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this bad boy started here. We have ourselves the main thing, of course, the ground beef. You know, some odd amount of pounds. 2.25 pounds right there. Read them and weep. Some basics here. You know, we got the flavoring taco McCormick. Simply and clean, delicious flavor. Then we got our base here. Flour tortillas, extra large. La banderita burrito grande. That's what. 2.25 pounds of ground beef, large flour tortillas, Spanish flavored rice, canned diced tomatoes. 2 packets of taco seasoning, 2 large bags of Monterey Jack mixed with cheddar and Colby, salsa verde, olives, hot sauce of your choice. Salt and pepper, 5.5 cups of water, dish-shaped corn chips, and 2 tablespoons of butter. Alright, so we are finally getting to where the meat is mostly brown here. We got a very little bit, if any, pink at all. So we're getting pretty close. Again, we're just making sure that we are trying to make sure that it doesn't clump up together and that it doesn't get stuck on the bottom of the pan. I think we lost a little bit of the this last video that we were doing here. The last thing it showed you guys was the butter. So, what happened between here and the butter, we're about to find out. Maybe I'll just make sure that we record a little bit more again. So, we got ourselves here a 1.5 cup of water, and we're going to be mixing it in with the McCormick taco flavoring. 1 packet per 1 pound of the meat here, which we will get to cooking the rice and everything else once we get this part settled in. Right on. Alright, so now that the meat is already cooked, we want to go ahead and get all the grease out of this as much as possible. Alright, now we know for sure that it's all ready, cooked up, and good to go. So let's go ahead and degrease it. Which I believe, I don't have a strainer, so we can't do that. So it's going to just be a very sticky situation. But we're going to get this grease out of this, and then we'll come back at you with the rest of the video here. Alright, so we got here the meat. It's a little dry, but that's because we're going to be adding that 1.5 cup of water. We have the temperature set at 5 right now, and it says to basically bring it to a simmer and mix it up. So we're just going to mix and rip. Mix and rip it up, you know. There's still a little bit there was a little bit of grease, but a little bit is okay. Don't really want to get rid of all of it, I guess you could say, but you want to. For the meat, it's going to be pour 1.5 cups of water into the ground meat, mix thoroughly with taco seasoning, bring to an almost boil, then lower the temperature to low. For the rice, you're going to pour 4 cups of rice or water into a pot and pan, bigger than what you see me using. Bring water to a boil, then pour in the rice and the rice seasoning. Pour in undrained can of tomatoes, Once all is mixed and boiling set to half heat, cover and wait 20 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, so we are going to be moving on to phase number 3, I would say, as we've already got our meat off of the heat. We're just waiting on the tomatoes and the rice to get to a boil so we can cover them up for 20 minutes. So while we're waiting on the rice to cook, we're going to go ahead and get ready our pan here. Got the bacon pan on here. It's already a little warm here from being on the oven, which is fine, you know. Didn't burn myself, right? It's already been off for a little while here. But I can feel the tortilla is actually starting to crisp, which is going to crisp anyway from whenever we make the food here in the oven. We've already got the oven set up to 400 degrees. The heat's already off on this one. It's been cooling down, right? This just kind of caught me off by surprise there for a second there. It's all good, all good. So now we can go ahead and take our meat. We're just going to pour the meat across this whole entire bottom here. This is basically the tortilla and then the meat going right over it. If anything, actually, we'll do a double-decker. I feel like we got enough meat that we can do a double-decker here. Plus, we're going to be putting in the rice, actually. So we'll go ahead and just spread this meat out here. We got it. Yep, we definitely got enough meat. Plus, we're going to have the tomatoes going in there too. So we probably should have started cooking the rice a little bit sooner, actually, now that I think about it. We got a little bit out of order here. The rice should have been first, since it's going to take the longest. Alright, so we're still waiting on the rice. But it's getting really close there. We're starting to see the steam coming off the top of it. And we're going to go ahead and start mixing our cheese here. We got the Colby Jack natural cheese. And we have ourselves here the Fiesta blend. Those are the ones which has Colby, Monterey Jack, and then we've got Monterey. It's just barely not on the screen. And Monterey Jack and cheddar. And we're missing one more ingredient. We almost forgot, Jack. Can't forget to bring that ice cold monster. If you enjoy a fine drink with a little bit of twang to it, make sure to drink your monster. Yeah, don't forget to drink your monster. Yeah. Sponsor me. Sponsor me! Alright, so we haven't actually got to mix the cheese yet, but we're going to be going ahead and covering up. We've already I went ahead and turned off the heat for the rice. And now that it's been brought to a boil, well, actually, we need to turn it on a really low, like 2.5 or 3. But we're going to go ahead and cover this up. We don't have the actual top that we need here. Alright. let's go ahead and open up this cheese we got here. Fiesta cheese. Just go ahead and just dump that whole thing out. Just gonna go ahead and dump that whole thing out here. We got plenty of cheese here. Oh yeah, one of these bags was definitely enough. One of these bags was definitely enough for that. Look how much it filled up there. Almost the whole thing of cheese. And yet we still got another bag of this bad boy. Let's see how many pounds. We got pounds on pounds and pounds of dude. I'm telling you, we got pounds of cheese here. So there's 3 different blends of cheese here we got, right? It's the Monterey Jack, the Colby Jack, and the cheddar. Which I think the majority of both of them is Monterey. But that's just my opinion. Oh yeah, so since we're waiting on the rice, we're going to set a timer for 20 minutes on the rice. I can't seem to get this one open. That'll work. Just cut right through it with a knife. So yep, the natural cheese Colby Jack. Try not to spill this. The cheese on top of cheese on top of cheese on top of cheese. So I still left the oven on at 400 degrees actually. Still had more time before we got started here. Alright. So, it's not mixed up yet. We're just gonna do a little bit of this. Probably don't. Yeah, let's get this cheese mixed up for you. Probably don't need to do it much. Just a little bit. Alright. So we got our fabulous cheese all good to go. Got our meat with the pan and the tortilla, and we got more meat coming at you. So make sure this isn't getting stuck to itself or anything like that. Alright. So, let's go ahead and take some of this cheese here, and we're just going to drop it all over the bottom of this here. Just get it good. Just get it nice and mixed up. This big, thick layer of nothing but cheese. Sprinkling it all over the place. Right. And we could just call that the bottom layer. You know what I'm saying? That could be the bottom layer. We don't even need to put the rice and anything on that. We can just go ahead and cover that up. With another 2 of these. Maybe we should put 3 on this one. One like more solid center, since we're going to be using we're going to be putting the tomatoes in this layer. Makes sense. I have no idea what I'm making. I'm just making my own thing here. A combination of a lot of different things. Just coming up with my own idea of a creation here, kind of like a lasagna of sorts that is a taco bake without using the Bisquick or anything like that, just using tortillas to help separate the layers. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and just dump the rest of this meat on top of this here. Actually, did I put in the third? I was going to put a third one in there. That's fine. We'll just spread a little meat there. It won't hurt nothing. Secret meat. Yeah, that won't hurt nothing. Nothing. You didn't see nothing there. Nothing at all. Nothing to see there. Nothing to see. Alright, so now we got the rest of the meat that's going on here. pan's good. And we can go ahead and spread this meat out all over the place. Looks a little lopsided, but it'll be alright. So, maybe not as much meat on the second layer as the first layer, but it's okay. Either layer is fine to get plenty of the meat. It's all going to the same place. Just trying to spread the meat out as much as I can. Evenly. Now we can go ahead and dump the rest of this cheese all over the top of that. So, it is looking like we don't actually have room to put the tomatoes in here at the same time. So I guess what we're gonna do here is just keep the. I was gonna keep the lettuce separated anyway, but we'll keep the tomatoes and the rice separated. We can add that in afterwards per thing. We'll just like push this down. I'm trying to make a little extra room here. All right, cool beans. That will work. So it's just nothing. This is literally nothing but meat and cheese and meat and cheese. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. That's crazy, my dudes. Meat and cheese and meat and cheese and meat and cheese. And then we're just going to top that off here with another layer of the tortilla. Right. So, now that we have some stuff open here, we can go ahead and just stick this in here. I have no idea how long I'm going to cook it for. It doesn't really need to cook very long, I would say. So, all right, so we got the meat and cheese and the tortillas in the bottom, and they are baking away right now. We got the rice and the tomatoes into the bigger pan, much more safer. Also, because I was so distracted with the cheese and everything, I wasn't stirring. I needed to stir the rice way more. So there was a lot of rice that ended up getting stuck pretty much at the bottom. So we're just going to call those loss, right? And we can actually probably now have enough room to just go ahead and put this in here. Let's take... Okay. So the rice is fine. There's still 10 more minutes left on the timer. And actually, we're going to go ahead and just put it all together like I was planning on doing in the first place. So I'll take that off the heat. We'll pull this out of the oven here. We're going to take off these two top layers. You can already... Let's get a better closer look at that. That actually looks really good. And we're not even done yet. Here it is, unveiling it. All that cheese and meat looking real good. I was a little worried we wouldn't have enough room in here, but I guarantee you we have enough room. So we're just going to take this top layer off before it's too late. It's only been in there for a few minutes. And we're going to go ahead and add in all of this tomato and rice right in there, because it says it's still got time to cook, and guess what, it's going to be cooking in the oven anyway, so it'll work out just fine. So we're just going to spread this out here. And that'll actually, what that'll do now is there's cheese underneath this rice, and there's still in the two different layers of cheese underneath the rice. And then we're going to put here right on top the little bit of cheese that was on top of this. Whoa. Right here you can see the cheese that's still on there. So we'll just put one of those there. This one actually is the one that had all the cheese on it. And we're just going to slap that on top of there. Boom, boom, boom. Now we've got the final product that I was looking for. We got 8 more minutes on the timer. Now this is a lot heavier than it was before. But we're setting that bad boy right in there Oh yeah, for 8 more minutes. We're just gonna let that bake in there and do. Well, actually, I'm gonna lower the temperature down to 300 and let it bake for like 15 more minutes. That's saying that should be good to go. So yeah, we'll set this down to 300. Basically, just to make sure that we don't burn the tortilla on the top. And we'll set this to another 15 minutes. And this will just give time for the rice to finish doing. I mean, it felt like it was already done. You know what? I'm going to set it on 12 minutes. We're giving it twice as much time as we had it before, and we're done with that. I had one of those still on there. So, we've got 4 more minutes left in this, and I did forget to do one thing that I wanted to do right before the last moment here. So, we're going to go ahead and take it out now, even though it's probably already done. So I probably could just go ahead and call it theirs, which is basically still the same time that it was saying we wanted to put it in there. I need something to put these 2 top layers. I keep taking on and off, like a dum-dum. Whenever I had it in there the last time, and wowzers, is that cheesy. We are supposed to put some pepper in there. That's what we were supposed to do before I put it back in there. So I got me, you know, a handful of salt here, and I'm just gonna kind of put it between my hands and just kind of move it across here and give it as an even layer as possible without putting too much in one particular spot. So that should be more than enough salt for the whole thing. And we can go ahead and put a little bit of this pepper here. Not a lot of pepper here, because we're going to already have different salsas and stuff, so we just want to put a little bit. That's probably it. Good, really. And maybe mix that up just a little bit just because of that. And there's still some cheese in here that's on the top, so it's kind of just... But that little bit of cheese at the top is just teasing compared to the fact that there's so much more cheese inside of it. Just a fact. Fact of the matter. And this thing is basically done. I mean, those are done. So let's go ahead and cut that off here. I just wanted to make sure we put the salt and pepper in there. So, now, should hopefully just set that up there and let that chill out for a second here. Alright, so we got our lettuce. We're just going to take this lettuce and just break it up into whatever, man. It doesn't matter to me. It's not a big deal. I just break it up. Maybe it'd be better a little bit this way for you. Just trying to get it into smaller pieces. Doesn't really quite matter too much. Doesn't quite matter too much. As long as we can get it into some decently smaller pieces. Some semi-shredded lettuce. Know what I'm saying? And that's probably more than enough lettuce for that whole thing. I mean, maybe a little bit more. Alright, cool. Alright, cool beans. So we got the lettuce ready. Easy peasy. There's nothing to do. No harder whatsoever to do that, right? So we can set the lettuce to the side. And we got 3 more things here. Or technically 4. So we got the final things that we're putting here. We got the tortilla chips. We have the fire sauce. And we have the salsa verde. And we also have the olives. So, we're going to put it all together. Forgot to turn off the oven. Don't forget to turn off the oven. What we're going to do here is we're going to create 2 separate types of dishes from the same dish that we've got here. Right on? Right on. So, for the first one, we are going to use the lettuce, the olives, and the salsa verde. We got ourselves the plastic plate here. So, I don't know how great this is going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. If it doesn't work, I have a better way to probably do it anyway. So, we get this here pan, and we got ourselves here a pizza cutter. So we're just going to go ahead and just clip the edges of this. So, this is very random, right? It's fine, but we're just trying to get a clean cut out of this here, so we'll take like about that big of a piece here. Right, you see what I'm saying? It's turning into a clean cut. And then we can just split this in half. See, it's starting to want to pull, but obviously it wants to pull. It's a freaking tortilla. It makes sense. Overreacting there. We don't have any cheese at the top to hold the tortilla down, but there's so much cheese down at the bottom. We're about to check out. Alright, so we got our two separate pieces here. And I think that worked out just fine. And we take our scooper here, we go ahead and back up. No, we don't want to back up yet. Almost. Almost time. We want to get this view of this lovely piece of taco as it comes out of here. The ooey gooey, yummy. That's a quesadilla, chat. That's how you make a quesadilla. Right? So we got ourselves a taco as it comes out of here. The ooey gooey, yummy. That's a quesadilla, chat. That's how you make a quesadilla. We'll get it, we'll get it, we'll get it into the picture here. The Quesadilla Supreme. It isn't even in its final form here yet. Let's hold that up. Hold yourself together for just a few more moments. Alright. Just a little bit of something at the bottom. Put that on there. Alright. So now we got our slice of life here. We're gonna get ourselves the Lindsay natural sliced olives here. There's a lot of juice in this. So we're just gonna go ahead and take the top off of this because they're just gonna fall off if we do not. Better. Much better. So now we're gonna take the olives here. We got some yummy, gummy, ooey gooey olives. We're gonna pour them all over the place here and try to keep them in the center. And we're gonna throw some of this here. Lettuce right over the top of it. And then we're gonna top that off with... Should have got this ready. There we go, the salsa verde. Right? The salsa verde. Boom, 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 boom. Right over the top of that. Right over the top. Right, so right over the top. Alright, and then we just take the top and put that right back over there. And boom. We got yourself the first version of the Supreme Quesadilla with the salsa verde and the olives. And we're ready to go ahead and start working on the next salsa. This Taco Bake Supreme, the Quesadilla Supreme here. So let's go ahead. This time we'll get it from my perspective. We're looking down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Oh, look at it just breaking away, break free. Look at that ooey gooey cheese in there. Yo, bro. Yo. Just leaving a big old gap in there. Oh yeah, and you can see here the cheese that was underneath the bottom, just a glob, a big old glob of cheese right there. Yeah, buddy. Alright, but we look. Alright. So, we got basically most of it out of there. Not as perfect as the other one, I don't think, but it's probably because it's just taking a little bit longer. Look at the cheese, my dudes. There's cheese everywhere. We'll just go ahead and plop that in there, too. So we're going to go ahead and take the top off, much like we did with the other one. Albeit the top seems to be a little bit small, but it'll be alright. Look, our fingers clean. That's how you do it for this one. So, this is the time where we're going to put in the tortilla chips. And we just want to break a bunch of it, just right over the top of it. Just right over the top. Just make sure it's a little more centered there. So that way we got more crunch in this one. You know what I'm saying? We did that. But of course the lettuce is going to be a little crunchy too. And then we plop that here. Lettuce right on top of that as well. And then we get ourselves some of this here fire sauce. Magnifique. Right here. Easy peasy to get up there, just using the shirt. And then we just pour this fire sauce all over the top of it. Yes. Yes, sir. Let's get that just a little bit more. Slap the top back on it, wherever the top went to. I think we lost the top of it, I'll be honest with you. So we're just going to take these bystander pieces here, pieces that got cut off the edge. We're just going to pretend like that's the top of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that'll work. So we just went ahead and did some doctoring. Doctor. We're getting to the point where I'm starting to eat. We're starting to eat while we're wet. As the second creation with the tortilla chips in there, the ooey gooey cheese, the Supreme. This one is a little bit more spicy, got a little more crunch to it, but basically the same thing. And one more time, putting them both together here for your viewing satisfaction guaranteed. Right, the one with the olives, and the one with the salsa verde, and the one with the fire sauce and tortilla chips for the crunch. And still a whole lot more. Mine's a little bit more sloppy looking. That's the one I'll be eating. Oh yeah, look at that one. Yummy. Ooh wee. And then still got a whole pan with plenty of sauce and lettuce. But alrighty guys, that's gonna be it. Thank you all so very much for checking out the Haze Diva Show. I hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, make sure to hit that like and subscribe to the channel. Anything and everything is appreciated, my dudes. But this is the first time ever that we did the cooking show with the Haze Demon. Oh yeah, I hope you enjoyed this special treat here for you guys, and maybe you'll decide to make this special treat here, the Taco Bake Supreme Quesadilla, something like that, you know what I'm saying? Alright, but I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to bring a towel, and we'll see you on the flippity floppity. Peace out.
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my
my part too.
They're doing their part. Are you? Join the Towel Nation and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship.